Good morning. This is Curtis here at tomato.pictures. You can look me up, it's tomato.pictures. And today I want to show you how to seed not just a great white tomato, which this is, but any tomato. This tomato right here is phenomenal. It's a beefsteak type. It's sort of a yellowish, whitish color, somewhere in canary yellow you would say. And actually they can grow to be 2 pounds, a pound and a half. Like this one here is slightly bigger, but I would say the average weight is about a pound and a quarter, which is a nice size beefsteak tomato. If you guys don't know, which this one is about maybe about a little more than a pound, I would say. So yes, this is a great white tomato, and I'm going to show you exactly how I seed my beefsteak tomatoes. So here we have a half. See right here, this is a half of tomato here, right? And what I want to do is I can't quite see the seeds here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually cut this and quarter him up. So now he's quartered, right? And now we can see the seed cavities. See that there? Seed cavities, right in there. And basically this is my seed container here that I have with a little bit of water in it already. And what I do is I just go in and I scrape the cavity out into the water. Alright, there were a couple cavities and one on each side, so make sure I'm scraping them out really good. You know, kind of stick your finger in there, down in this little crevice right there. You stick your finger down and make sure, basically using common sense to make sure I get all the seeds out. But they're usually there in the cavity. Once you get the seeds out, you can do whatever you want with this part of it. For me, I will eat this. The thing is, I forgot to wash it before I used it, so I will wash it after and just put it in something. Here's another one that I quartered up. Here it is. Actually, you know, sometimes when the tomatoes are really ripe, the seeds are just waiting to be touched to fall out. There it goes, falls right out into my container. Here it is, they're falling right out into the container. Here we go, into the container. Once I have all the seeds out, sometimes it's a little bit difficult to get seeds out, so you use some scrape them out. You know, you get in there, you scrape them out, whatever whatever your common sense tells you to do to make sure all the seeds get out. You know, it's not rocket science, it's tomato science, and tomato science is, for the most part, saving seeds is pretty easy. Alright, let me do one more. Here's the little seed pocket right there. I stick my finger in. I get all the seeds out. Here's another seed pocket on the other side. I stick my finger in here. I get those seeds out. Basically, you know, there shouldn't be, if any seeds left in this pot at all. So that's done. I get those seeds out and this will be ready to use. Once that is done, what I do is I take my tomatoes, my seeds, as you can see them right here. I take them out to my greenhouse out there, and I leave them for about a day and a half in moderate heat. It's usually warm in my greenhouse, but for you, if you don't have a greenhouse and if you don't have time to keep checking on them, what I suggest you do is just leave them out somewhere where your dogs or your cats or your chickens can't get to them. So put them up someplace in the sun if that's possible. If they're out of a greenhouse and they have like normal day sun, I would say about 3 days you should be ready to clean these seeds, wash them up, and have them ready to go. I've done videos where I show people how to clean your seeds off after this process. What's going to happen to these seeds in here is that they're going to begin to ferment. Once they ferment, you can start, after about 3 days, you can skim all that stuff off the top. Put some fresh water in there, the seeds fall to the bottom, all of the other stuff that was stuck onto the seeds before float to the top, then you can empty those and keep sort of straining it until you see the seeds in the bottom. From the fermentation stage to when the seeds are totally clean, it takes me about 3 minutes to have a new batch of seeds clean, depending on how many seeds there are. Sometimes it takes 30 seconds if there are very few seeds. But you want to do this in a transparent container so that you can see the seeds when you wash them out, or if you don't have a transparent container to ferment them in, use any container, but make sure when you're washing the seeds out you transfer it into something transparent. That way you can literally see the seeds in the bottom, and you can, when you start pouring the top and the stuff off, you wouldn't throw the seeds out with them. You can't throw the baby out with the bath water. So yeah, so that's basically how I go about saving seed. I quarter them up. I go in the back in those little pockets there. This one tomato probably yield about 300 seeds, I would say, in my estimation. And yep, here you have it, all clean, no seeds. And this part is what I usually put in my salsa, in my sauces, in my paste, and nothing is wasted. So with that said, once my seeds are dried, once I put this in the greenhouse, or put it outside to ferment, I have a label. I usually stick the label right exactly under the pot or the container. That way I know what the variety is. And then, once the seeds have fermented and I've cleaned them out, I'll take the same label, I'll stick it on top of my screen door wire that I've cut into little pieces, and I pour the seeds on here, and I take it back to my greenhouse for a couple of hours until it's dried. Then I take it out, I pack the seeds up, and they're ready to go. Seed saving is a really important process in continuing to produce non-GMO foods. It's really important for everyone to save their heirlooms or open pollinated seeds. Very important, not only from tomatoes, but from all variety of foods that are not genetically modified. We need to continue saving seeds for the future generations. It's very important. Okay? Also, when you save your own seeds, you're on top of everything. You know what you're saving from. You know the quality of the fruit that you saved the seeds from, and so on and so on. So you can, year after year, really improve the quality of your tomatoes in your garden, or your beans, or your watermelon, by just choosing the seeds from the best fruit according to that variety. It's very important for us to save seeds. It's very important for us to teach the younger generation, the kids coming up, how important it is to be in the garden, to save seeds, to take care of the animals, the whole process of gardening and feeding people in a healthy way. It's very important. This is why I save seeds. I save seeds for the future generations, and also to make sure that the food that I put in my body is the healthiest food that can be grown and true to the varieties. I don't save seeds from tomatoes that look or seem distorted or contorted. I just don't do it. I don't care if it's the last one of the variety. I just won't do it, because most tomatoes aren't supposed to be distorted to taste good. People think because a tomato is distorted it should taste good, or it should know that. No, you can have a tomato that's really perfect for its variety, whatever that variety might be, and it can taste just as good. Okay? So with that said, this is Curtis at Tomato.Pictures. Have an awesome day. I just saved 300-400 seeds in a matter of minutes, and I'm signing off. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.